Okay, it's 9 o'clock on Wednesday, May 14th. Time for the weekly Board of Works and Safety meeting in Logansport. City of Logansport. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right.
God, what were you guys talking about?
Roll call, please.
Mayor Franklin?
Here.
Chris Armstrong?
Here.
Ron Miller?
Present.
Approval of minutes from the May 7th, 2014 meeting.
I've read them. I would make a motion that we approve as presented the minutes from the May 7, 2014 meeting.
I second that. Is there any discussion?
None.
Hearing no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Approval of claims in the amount of $368,738.65.
I reviewed the claims. I would make a motion we approve the claims in the amount of $368,738.65 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to pay the claims. Is there any discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes on a vote of 3-0. Approval of licenses. We do have some for consideration today. We have a license request from Gene Kaufman, doing business as Shepler Construction, Curtis Skiles as Skiles Electric, James Hayes as Maxwell Electric, and William J. Moore. All these are electricians' license. I would make the motion that we approve the license as requested.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Building Commissioner is here if you have any questions for him. Hearing none, all in favor of approving the licenses as requested signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Passes on a vote of 3-0. Thank you. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No.
Hearing none, are we having visitor comments? Visitor walking in right now. Any visitor comments, Mitchell? He's good to go. All right, there are no visitor comments. Under old business, we have Code Enforcement Officer with us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Concerning the property at 510 21st Street, as of Monday, the violations still remain. The brush pile in the corner, I think Chris had gone up past there once, didn't you, Chris? You're familiar with it? So really, there was some cleanup done to it, but we did give them a 2-week extension. And we did send them a letter out advising them of the 2-week extension, but it's still not been entirely clean.
Okay, that's
510
21st Street.
Yes. I would ask that allow me to make personal contact with them because I believe that Chris had talked to him once.
Chris, can you weigh in?
Didn't you talk to these people?
Is this the guy that was taking down trees in his yard? Yes, he was here when you were gone.
Okay.
And he said he was working to get that cleaned up, and he had some other things in the yard. Are those cleaned up?
The other
Everything
things are
but the
cleaned
brush?
up, and that's the reason I would make the exception is because he did talk to you and he did clean up some of it, but the
Making the
brush
attempt?
pile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What do you recommend?
I would like for you to go make personal contact, and we can look at this again in 1 week. And if it's not cleaned in 1 week, I think we've given sufficient time.
Okay.
So if in 1 week it is not cleaned, the city will clean it.
All right.
Is that in a motion?
That is my motion.
What's the date next week? 21st, isn't it?
Yes.
I'll second that motion. We will order a property cleanup at 510 21st Street if it's not completed by Board of Works by 9 a.m. next Wednesday morning.
No need to bring it back in front of the Board of Works next week, is there?
No, we have a motion and a second ordering the property cleanup effective next Wednesday. He's got 1 week to clean it up. That is in form of a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes on a vote of 3-0. Okay.
Thank you, George.
Thank you. Under new business, city street closure request, the Shrine Club, Bill Michael, Chris, I think he's worked with you, or I know he worked with Cheryl some on this. It's the request for their annual Shrine Frolic. It appears as if all departments have signed off on it. They have provided their insurance certificate. Everything appears to be in order. And I would make the motion that we allow for the street closure request to take place as requested by Shrine Club.
Second.
And that date will be August 23rd, 2014. It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Dumpster request, Jason McDonald. This is for 903 Spear Street. Trash pickup rental property for Pleasant Hill cleanup. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Pleasant.
When he came, I took that request, when he came in, the cleanup's actually going to be at 200 North Street, but for whatever reason, he referred to, whether it's the name of his holding company that holds the house or whatever, he referred to it as Pleasant Hill.
Okay. I was going to say the map clearly shows it's down on, it's at 903 Spear Street, and the dumpster would be placed on 9th Street. So I think that's exactly right. I mean, that would be down there by the old city cemetery, and the name escapes me right now. Maybe that's the hill he refers to. I would make the motion that we approve the dumpster request for 903 Spear Street.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. We have another dumpster request. Willie Reyes, 200 North Tacoma Avenue is what the agenda states. I don't think there is a North Tacoma Avenue. There's an east and a west, but there's no north. His map is a little hard to read here, but it's located near Tacoma and Vine, which would be west of 3rd Street or west of 3rd Street. Dumpster in front of the garage doors. Everything appears to be in order. It's she's cleaning out the garage, it appears. Everything appears to be in order. I make the motion that we approve the request from Willie Reyes for a dumpster to be placed on the street at 200 Tacoma.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Building Commissioner gave his report last week. Code Enforcement Officer, you're up now.
Okay, a total of 16 on the list for today. Of those 16, 13 of them have been abated. If you go down to 2116 Jefferson Street, that is a home that is in foreclosure. It's sat empty for well over 2 years now. It has a swimming pool in the backyard. It has finally collapsed and caved in. I would respectfully request that the board order the swimming pool to be cleaned and removed.
I'd make the motion we order a cleanup at 2116 Jefferson Street regarding the collapsed pool. Would also offer this photograph as part of the record.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. What's your next one, George?
The next one is 517 Wilkinson Street. There's some circumstances surrounding that one that I'm not comfortable with. I would request a 1-week extension on that one.
I make the motion that we approve a 1-week extension on 517 Wilkinson Street. We'll talk about it next week.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passing on a vote of 3-0. Thank you.
And on the list, the only other one that I would request any action be taken on is 1124 East Market Street. You have current pictures. There's been no changes. There's kind of a dispute over the house was sold, and the guy that bought it says that he didn't. At any rate, I would request a cleanup on it. You can see from the pictures that it's needs some attention.
This photograph is date stamped April 15, 2014. Does it still accurately represent
Yes, it
what
does.
the area looks like?
If there's been no changes, I don't take updated pictures.
Sure. Okay. I would make the motion that we order a property cleanup at 1124 East Market Street.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. And the others on your list, you're telling us that they've been abated?
Yes, they've
and-
all been taken care of.
Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 properties that have been abated, 1 continued, and 2 with the property cleanup ordered. So, okay, well, thank you very much. Is there any questions for Code Enforcement Officer about his report?
No.
Everything appears to be in order. I make the motion that we approve the Code Enforcement Officer's report as presented. It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Passes on a
Thank
vote
you.
of 3-0. Thank you. Superintendent of Public Works, you're up next, Dan. Thanks, George.
I don't know if I should say whether it's Muncie Central Bearcat or not, Ron. Muncie Central.
Yeah, that's what I thought of when you walked in the door.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I submit my report for your review and hopefully for your approval. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to address them at this time.
Your report states that you rolled ball fields?
Yes.
What do you mean by that? I mean, is
We
that-
have a big roller, and every year we go in and roll it so it's smoother for them to
Is that all the ball fields? Yeah.
do the high school, we do all the Little League and the girls'
What do you pull the roller with? A truck or a trailer or
trailer.
trailer? I mean, a tractor?
No, it hooks onto one of our dump trucks.
Hooks onto a dump truck?
Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure of that. Didn't know what equipment we had there. That was really the only question I had. I know you guys are working hard. You know when you're going to sweep Hillcrest? I'm kidding, Dan.
Is that in the city limits?
I'd make the motion that we approve the Department of Public Works report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan. Chief of Police is excused today. Fire Chief is here, although his report is not due till next week. Parks Administrator is also not here. Unfortunately, there are some questions that I had for the Parks Administrator, although she is not here today, so I'll catch up with her later.
Are we not doing his report?
Who's?
Fire?
No, it's next week. Third Wednesday.
Okay.
Are there any board member comments?
None.
Hearing none. Miscellaneous business, including ADA Section 504 compliance and concerns, or any other matters not already considered?
None.
Hearing none. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.